Alignment. Alignment. When I'm in alignment, I just gotta go. Allow my inspiration to get me in the flow. Allow my intuition to get me where to grow. Allow the God inside of me to direct the flow. Allow my higher self to let me know where to go and where to show. Join me and I'll show you how to grow with the flow. Godfield, Part 8, God Mode activated. Let's go! So, welcome back to Part 8. In this video, we are going to activate the God Mode. So in the last video, we activated the Human Simulation Guidance System, which is our intuition and crown. The last two plugs we put back online, we're connected to our soul player, and then we're streaming codes, flow codes from our soul player down into our physical body, into this physical human avatar. But we need a way to interpret these codes. So in this video, we're going to learn about what is the God Mode, how playing in the God Mode can benefit you, what are the energy flow codes, and how do they work. We'll also discover the A to G protocol, which is a practical framework tool that can help you translate these energy flow codes from your soul player into practical mind codes, for you to then take logical steps for your logical mind to interpret these energy codes into mind codes for your mind to go and take action and decisions in this real world, which are then aligned to your unique divine blueprint game map. So this protocol I'm very excited to bring to you guys, because this protocol A to G is one that I've downloaded as a flow code. I've used it every day in my daily life, and this is how I create my videos. I'm always channeling down these flow codes, and all this content that I'm putting out here is all done from using this A to G method, because all of the flow codes that come to me using this framework, I'm able to see if it aligns with my unique divine blueprint game map, and then I put it out here. So I'm very excited to bring it to you guys. It's helped me massively in my day-to-day life, because when I was using my thinking system, I'm always guessing, trying to work things out. But when you start using flow codes in your life, you just stop thinking. You just move, you just flow, because all the stuff is done on the higher level, and then you just stream the codes down and you just take action. How good is that? In your life, you don't have to make decisions. You just get told from your soul player where to go and what to do. And you just experience life. So it's very, 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 very powerful to activate this God Mode. So I'm very excited to get this going. So what is the God Mode? God Mode is like having VIP access to the unified God field. It helps your human avatar keep playing online and staying connected to the divine. When you have this VIP access, when you're playing your character in the God Mode, you're fully activated, you've got all your powers, you've got all your skills, you've got all your abilities, and you're always connected to the divine, and you're consciously aware and playing at your highest level. Because God Mode allows you to stream down and interface with the universal energy light codes, right? These flow codes are aligning with your game map, your unique game map that you designed and that you created to come down here and play. So these flow codes are always going to be aligning with you and what's correct for you. But we just need a way to interpret them. But we need to understand how they come about. These energy flow codes are always accessible, right? We're all playing in our own God field day to day. And in your everyday interactions in playing in this field, flow codes will present themselves in challenges and situations that you face. Flow codes will come in a form of information and knowledge you obtain, things that you come across, things that you read. These are all different type of flow codes. So we need to pay attention and see, is this a flow code for me to interpret and use? Then you'll get flow codes from people that you meet, conversations you overhear, conversations that you have with other people. These are all types of flow codes that are coming to you, because everything that we interface with is just light energy, right? People are energy, they are made up of light energy, and they are just conversating with you and you are conversating with that. So everything is energy flow codes, and everything that comes at you, just know that each code acts as a catalyst for your soul player to keep on leveling up, to keep it evolving in this game of life. So that is what the God mode is all about. So how does energy flow codes work? Flow codes are made up of energy, frequency, and vibration. The code is energy first, because everything in the unified God field is energy first. Energy first, then this energy is tuned at a frequency, and then your brain picks up the code, the signal, depending on your level of spiritual consciousness, right? We put all our plugs back online. Depending on your level of awareness and consciousness, you are able to connect and align with the God field and play in the God mode. That all depends on what flow codes come at you, right? But a very key thing to understand is our brain, our mind, is like a radio antenna. It's constantly picking up thoughts and ideas, right? It's energy patterns and it's electrical energy signals. This antenna is just picking up electrical energy impulses, thoughts, ideas. So depending on our level of consciousness and our spiritual awareness and how connected we are in this God mode, that's the flow codes that will come at us, right? Or it's whether we can interpret them, right? Because they're always there. But if we're unconscious and playing in this offline mode, in your ego offline mode, then you're missing all the flow codes that come at you. People are stuck in this loop cycle and they're stuck in that thinking system. So for our human avatar to process these codes, they must be felt, they must be processed, and they must be acted upon in different parts of the body. This is a very fundamental thing. If the flow code is attempted to be processed only in our minds, the flow code will be misinterpreted due to the fact that our mind is unable to understand and read energy. It cannot process energy, it doesn't understand energy. So these flow codes must go through a process before we can understand and translate them. So how do we do that? The processing of a flow code is very simple. We must understand that our mind, our brain, has two sides. We have a left side, which is logical, and we have a right side, which is intuition and creative base, right? And the flow code must pass through the right side first. So if we follow the tree here, I'll show you the tree. So the flow code comes in, hits the right side of the brain, which is our intuition. It's our circular thinking, it's creativity, it's holistic thinking, it's the brain of receptivity. It's gonna receive the code, right? This flow code hits the right side of the brain because it's inward facing. You go within on the right side of the mind, right? So the code comes in because the right side of the brain is our intuitive side. The signal flow code enters here as an energy feeling based message into the right side of the brain. If this resonates, it moves down through the body for deeper processing. So then it hits the body, which is the feeling-based system, because our right side of the brain is our intuition. It's connected to our third eye. Intuition, stream it down, which is also connected to our CPU, which is our feeling-based system, the heart energy plug, right? So intuition, heart energy plug, it can only come in from the right side of the brain. Comes down, connects to the CPU, down, then it goes through the process of the A to G protocol processing tool, where we transmute energy into mind codes, which I'll show you on the next slide. And then it goes up. Once it's transmuted the energy and it's understood what the flow code is all about, it turns it into a mind code for our left side of the brain, which is the logical side, takes that raw energy and translates it into logical steps for real world action and manifestation. Because The left side of the brain is logical, it's linear thinking, it thinks in steps, right? If energy comes in on the right side, it's holistic, it's all interconnected. If it came in from the left side, it gets misinterpreted because the left side of the brain cannot read energy. It has to come from the right because the right side of the brain is connected to your feeling-based system, which can read energy. Because once the raw energy is processed into the left side of the brain, it's structure, it's analysis, it's active, it's outward facing. It's your thinking system that measures on the outside world. Because energy comes in invisible. It gets processed, and then you express it on the outside world. Then you create something, you take action on the outside world. So this is the outward facing side of the brain. Left is outward and the right is inward facing. In receiving of the code, outward of action. So it needs to go from right to left. I hope that made sense. So now, how do we translate the energy to a mind code? We use the A to G protocol. And this is the breakdown, right? We've got all our plugs back online and we're streaming flow codes down in playing in our God field, energy field. So each plug is aligned and grounded. And then we've got the A to G protocol, which is the breakdown. Each letter corresponds with an energy plug. Very simple. So let's say that you get a flow code that comes down, right? A code that comes to you, hits your crown chakra first. What do? It's the A. It's attunement. You attune to the flow code, right? You attune, your mind is the antenna, so you're tuning to what's coming in. You're aligning, because if you're not aligned, if you're swinging this way or you're swinging that way, you're missing the flow codes. You're not online. You're stuck in the avatar. So it must be aligned. So the A part is attunement and aligned. And then it's awareness. You must be aware, because if you're not aware, then how can you know it's a flow code? How can you know what's being presented to you? So that is the A part, attune, align, and awareness. It connects you to your divine guidance and a bigger picture from your soul game. And then the next is B, right? The flow codes come in, hits your third eye. Balance, right? We need to balance how the flow code is coming in. You put the balance in, it's evenly distributed, right? It helps you see beyond the illusions of our eyes, because when a flow code comes in, the eyes must close and you bring it down into your inner perception. And then C is for channel, hitting your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is a channel of communication. So C is a transmission that opens up the pathway for the flow code to be transmitted, allowing the divine message to be received and expressed, right? C is the channel of the throat chakra. Then, once that flow code comes in, we need to discern it. How does it feel, right? Discernment is the CPU, right? The flow code is being connected to your energy body, which is your CPU feeling-based system. This is the core decision point of the flow code. Knowing that when it comes in, if the flow code resonates, it moves down the energy plug, the next one. If it doesn't resonate, you discard the flow code. Because if it doesn't feel right, you forget it. Someone's told you something and you think it's a flow code, and you've done that process, you've channeled it, bring it in, you tap it into your feeling-based system, and if that flow code does not resonate, I don't agree with what they're saying, that doesn't feel right, I feel contracted, disregard it, right? But if it feels right and it feels like I resonate with this, which it resonates with the DNA because your game map is inside of you, then you hit the next step, which is the E. E is for energy, and it's connected to your solar plex. Your solar plex is your console, it's your power. Energy, power, energizes the flow code, providing confidence to drive it into action. And then you drive it down to the next one, which is F. So we're streaming down to F. F is for focus and creativity, because it hits the energy plug of your sacral. The sacral is creation plug, right? It gives form to the flow code. it transforms it into a creative idea, a project, or an action. After F, it makes its way down to G. So the G is your root plug. The root plug is all about grounding this flow code and growing this flow code. Understand that the first external action happens here, right? It turns in from an energy flow code of a feeling into a mind code, and the first step is to write it down. Writing grounds the flow code into this material reality, setting the intention for the left brain to execute without thinking, right? You've come down, it resonates, it feels good, you've put it down, you've given energy to it, it's come to the ground, you write it down, you don't question it because it's gone through your feeling-based system. Then it gets passed up to your left side of the brain to take action. And again, the left side of the brain has to do no thinking. It just goes and does it. And that's the advantage of it. We don't have to think anymore. We just flow and feel because the codes are coming from a higher level. So this protocol is amazing. I'm telling you now, I've been using it personally every day. And what will happen is once you have this protocol in check, you'll be streaming these codes in real time and you'll be able to constantly take action in milliseconds, right? It'll come through, it'll resonate, you write it. The action doesn't have to happen straight away, but the first action is to write it down first. And then you allow the next pieces to unfold. Because once you get the first part of the flow code, then another part will come in, then you'll go read a book somewhere, or you'll have a conversation, and that's the other flow code to add to this flow code. So you'll be constantly adding and building these flow codes out and constantly leveling up in your game. So, summary. Why is God mode important? By activating God mode, you're no longer just reacting to life. You are consciously upgrading, you're evolving, and you're playing your life game at the highest level. Instead of being stuck in confusion, you start winning in this game of life. Why use my A to G protocol? Because it helps your human avatar stay online, playing in this God mode. Right, who doesn't want to be in this God mode? By following this A to G protocol, you are no longer confused about your purpose or being stuck in mental loops, right? I lived in mental loops pretty much my whole life, constantly overthinking, always thinking, what should I do? Should I do this? No movement, no action, because you're stuck living in the mind. When you use this A to G protocol and you adapt these flow codes into your life, you don't have to think anymore. So instead of being stuck in these mental loops, you are able to trust your intuition and your divine guidance. You stop overthinking and you start taking aligned actions. You manifest your divine purpose in this game of life. God mode isn't about figuring things out. It's all about receiving, trusting, and acting in the flow of divine. And that is what God mode is all about. God mode and the A to G method combined, activating your God field and start playing your game in this game of life.
So right now I'm using the A to G method. I just woken up, I'm doing my breath work in my bed, and as I'm doing my breath work, each round my antenna is connecting up to the source, the divine access network, the DNA, and I'm pulling down streams of information. And as that information comes in, balance it, bring it in, pull it into the CPU. Does it resonate? If it resonates, it goes all the way down, and then I write it down. All the way down, write it down. And that's how we use the A to G method, because everything I'm writing now is for action. Everything I write now is for action. I'm gonna take action on everything I've written down into physical action, into this material world, and you'll see that the actions I've written here is this video that I'm creating now, this YouTube video of the A to G method, and all the other videos I've created is all been channeled down using the A to G method. I bring it all down and it turns it into videos, into information, into value for everyone to follow. Start tuning in to your human simulation guidance system and start using the A to G method and activate your God mode. Okay, goodbye.
So I trust you found this video useful. Your support means a lot to me. My mission is to get as many minds back online and everyone connected to their God mode, their playing field, their soul player, all these things, because once everyone comes back online, we all will operate in a more compassionate, conscious, abundant world. So please consider giving this video a like so this video can reach more people. Drop a comment down below, I'd love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button to stay notified. Feel free to connect to me on all social media platforms. Let's make this journey amazing together, and I'll catch you in the next one. Sending you much love and light, my beautiful souls. Goodbye.